In your work as a product manager, you'll hear software engineers and others talk about programming languages. And if you hear a couple of them talking details with each other, it could really sound like a foreign language. But you don't have to speak the language to understand the broad concepts and general ideas. It's really pretty easy, so let's get into it and see. A programming language is simply a way to give instructions to any kind of computer, including a phone, so that it accomplishes a certain function or provides a certain experience to someone using the device. A complete set of instructions is what we call an application, or app, or program. You'll also hear the set of instructions referred to as the code. Code just means the instructions that are written in the actual computer language. Computer languages differ in the specific types of functions they do well. Let's look at a few and see. If you're working with web products, the languages used there are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You can think of them like this. HTML provides the content you see on a web page, basically what the text and images are. CSS specifies how that content should look, what font and what size, the background color, and all the visual aspects of a page. JavaScript gives the web page behavior. If you interact with a web page and it responds to you appropriately, JavaScript is probably responsible. Python is an example of a high-level language. This just means that Python is often used to program web servers and mobile apps. Python programs are often called scripts, and the language itself is frequently referred to as a scripting language. You're probably going to hear about Python the most in reference to data analysis, as it's a very popular language to make scripts in that parse data. Now, Java might be confusing because it sounds similar to JavaScript, but they aren't even close. JavaScript is specialized to change the behavior of web pages, but Java is an all-purpose general programming language that is used to write everything from enterprise software to games and mobile apps. Java is designed so that once the program is written, it can run on pretty much any platform that supports it without any adjustment to the code. Objective-C and Swift are the languages that power Apple's iOS and OS X. They are used to write apps for the iPhone and for that reason are very popular languages for developers who want to tap into this lucrative market. Ruby is another language that is pretty easy to read and, like Python, is considered to be a good, user-friendly language for beginners. It's used for developing websites and mobile apps and is the power behind sites such as Groupon and Shopify. You've probably heard of Ruby when people talk about Ruby on Rails, which is just a framework that makes building applications in Ruby even easier. Scala is what's called a functional application language and was designed as an update or improvement to Java, providing features or fixing things that Java does not do so well. Programs written in Scala are compatible with Java and they will run on any system which can run Java, which is just about anything and everything. So Scala, like Java, can be used to write a wide range of applications. Finally, we'll end up with PHP. PHP is a web server language that is used to display pages on websites and mobile apps. It generates web pages that are created on the fly based on a user's request or input. You'll often see .php web pages in the address bar of your browser. PHP was one of the earliest languages adopted en masse for making full web applications. So that sounds like a lot to take in, but don't worry, you don't have to be an expert. Just becoming familiar with a few of these terms will ensure that the next time you're involved in a conversation about programming, it's not going to sound so much like a foreign language.